Yo, 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 yo. Yo. Right. Sunday night. Sunday night. So we're gonna watch some Lawrence Okolie against Ebeneezer Tetteh. Yeah. Ebeneezer Tetteh versus Lawrence Okolie in Accra. No, not in Accra. This is in Nigeria. This is in Nigeria. Accra, Ghana was yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Now, the fight has started already, but I've deliberately pulled it back a little because I started the stream late. So, as far as I'm concerned, I'm watching it live. I'm not going to look in the comment section because some troll is going to come in there and probably give the game away if it ends prematurely. When the fight's over, I will interact. But for now, right, let's get this close to the fight. I'm still doing the intros. Right. Tetteh. This is the opponent choice of Lawrence Okolie. Can't say I'm impressed, like Ghana definitely had the better main event with Dan Aziz taking on Craig Richards. Brutal left hook from Craig actually. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Like Lawrence was saying, yeah, Jake Paul was slipping his shots. Yeah, but look at the size of Lawrence. Lawrence just hasn't got the same speed he had when he was 200 pounds. How do you call out Caballero? Pretend call out Caballero and then end up fighting this guy here. Since he's lost to Chris Billiam Smith in 2023, his opponent has been the Polish bridgerweight, whose name I forget. The gimme fight when he signed to Frank Warren, and then Kevin Lorena, and now Ebeneezer Tetteh. Look, Lawrence is out of love with boxing, but he loves the money. Who don't love the money? Lawrence has been trying to sell this. Yeah, look, returning to Africa, like, come on, Lawrence, man. You're not fighting. This is not Rumble in the Jungle. It's not Ali versus Foreman, is it? Come on now. All right, so we're off. Lawrence trying to measure his man with that lead left hand. Lands a right. Tetteh looks off balancing on the jitters already. You know what I mean? Jab to the body from Okolie. Free punch combination from Okolie. Starting with that jab. He's jabbing to the torso. Tetteh advancing. Tries to keep his gloves up, but he gets caught. He's going to go down. Overhand rights from Okolie. Clubbing him like a baby seal. Okolie lands a left to the body. Okolie's clearly got obesity issues. This is a man who's not training to compete with top 10 ranked contenders. You can't come in that condition and fight anyone in the top 10. You know what I mean? And it's no surprise Jake was weaving your shots, Lawrence. He's slow. Lawrence is slow, man. Look how slow and ponderous Lawrence is. Come on now. This is lands a big right over the top. Tetteh holds on. Tetteh trying to maul his way through this first round, but he won't go no much further than the first, I wouldn't have thought. I mean, Fraser Clark had him out of there by now, Lawrence. Jake Paul is a better opponent than Tetteh. Let me just say that now. Jake Paul is a better opponent than Tetteh. He's better conditioned than Tetteh. This is awful. Right cross from Lawrence. All right, Lawrence has gone down from something. It's not a knockdown. Lawrence looks like he's injured. They're like, what put him down? His leg looked injured. Lawrence is in horrible condition, man. Horrid. His body looks uneven and everything. Don't look right. Good shot by Lawrence. Right hand has Tetteh all about the place. Tetteh holds on grimly. Lands an uppercut inside, though. Dreadful. Okay, we're still in this first round. Tetteh goes down. Whew. Okay, let's get this second round in. Lawrence won that first one, as you'd expect. Massive right hand from Lawrence. How did Tetteh kept it? How did he keep his footing, Tetteh? How did he not go down? Boy, Tetteh, boy. Fred Sanford. This is some Fred Sanford boxing, Chris, from Tetteh. Boy. They shouldn't send Tetteh out for the second, man. They really shouldn't. They really shouldn't. You're going to send this guy out for a second round? It's going to get hurt. It's going to get hurt bad. Big right from Lawrence straight away. Tetteh's on his way down already. Didn't go down, though. He stood on his feet. Tetteh misses a big left hand. Him and Lawrence are clutching it out right now. Lawrence looks like a bit of an uncle himself, man. Flipping hell, Lawrence. Lawrence posing. Trying to line up Tetteh for a big right hand, a big 1-2. Tetteh walking right in the line of that right hand. Lawrence, timing was a little off. Tetteh managed to smother it with his left hand. They're in a clinch, throwing, well, rabbit shots, little rabbit shots. Tetteh blocked that right hand, but that right hand crashes through. He's wobbling everywhere. Couple more punches should get this done for Lawrence. I shouldn't think there'll be a round 3. Was that illegal by Lawrence? Holding his forearm up and drilling him with that right. Lawrence takes that little step back. Great right cross by Okolie. Tetteh come back with a right hand. Okolie backed up. Lawrence looking to finish it with one punch. Where's the combinations? He needs to put the combinations together. That's what he needs to do. Right uppercut from Lawrence. It's a good shot. He's so heavy, though, Lawrence. Lawrence is not punching through his legs. Is he trying to push Tetteh down rather than knock him down? Referee warns him for pushing down on Tetteh's neck. That spring that Okolie had in his legs at Cruz or even at Bridget is gone. Totally gone. Tetteh still loitering around. Great right hand from Okolie. Left hand puts Tetteh down. That's a knockdown. Just sit down, Tetteh, man. Just sit down. Sit down. Okolie gonna finish this. It's like, what are the cornermen doing? Why are you letting him take a beating like that? He's wobbling everywhere. Jesus Christ. You're gonna let this man dead in there. Stop the fight. Throw the towel in someone. Stop the fight. The man's dead on the ropes. Look at him. What are we seeing? The execution. This is horrible, man. This is horrible. This is not good. This is not good for Okolie. You're not going to send him out for the third, surely. Surely you're not going to send him out for the third round. It's got to be finished. Not going to send him out for the third. I mean, after the knockdown, they should have stopped it. The guy's legs are clearly in no shape to stand up and box. It's crazy. Craziness. They're not sending him out. They're not sending him out. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's done. He ain't coming out, Lawrence. That's it. That's done. That's Dunnersville. Dunnersville, bro. Dunnersville. I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. You know, you got Moses Atuma fighting Jermaine Franklin next. You've got Fabio Wardley just finished fighting Joseph Parker. You know, why? Why is the question? The question is why? Wow. This is not good, man. No, there's no free streams on here. If you haven't purchased your subscription on the pay-per-view, there's no free streams. There's no free streams. There's no free streams. We don't no illegal streams. People allowing illegal streams on their channel can get flagged. No illegal streams. Is it true that Okolie will fight Atuma next in a WBC eliminator if Atuma beats Franklin? I heard someone say that on another channel. I can't confirm that. Bloody hell, man. Lawrence. Nah, man. No. You know. I don't know what to say. Why is Tetteh the choice of opponent? This was predictable. The last time out, he got blasted out in a round by Fraser Clark, who recently lost to TKV, and before that had his skull crushed in. Lawrence don't. Lawrence is just trying to hustle the game. This is just a hustle. This is just a hustle, bro. This is just a hustle. This is just a hustle. It's awful. It's absolutely dreadful. Philip Anza says Okolie wants to go off the Caballero. Yeah, good luck with that. Yeah, he was joking, man. You know what I mean? He didn't want no Caballero, man. You don't say, yeah, you're gonna fight Caballero and then end up fighting this guy. You know. You have to seek after opponents like this. The only way you end up as a British fighter, right, in one of the most popular territories, right, a British Boxing Board of Control licensed boxer, right, a former two-weight world champion, on Frank Warren's Queensberry. The only way he ends up fighting an opponent like this is if he's seeking after a fight with an opponent at that level. It's as simple as that. Jarrell Miller was where? He was at Wardley versus Parker, wasn't he? Looking for a fight. It's a joke, man. It's a joke, Lawrence. You're showing slow motion replays. What for? What for? What hurts the sport more? Jake Paul or this guy Tetteh fighting supposedly world-ranked contenders? What hurts the sport more? You tell me what hurts the sport more. How come no one's saying that this is going to destroy boxing? This is the current system of boxing. This is the current system. Someone like Johnny Fisher should be fighting that guy. That's who Johnny Fisher should be fighting. And even then, you'd have to question like, yo, Eddie, you can't get him a better opponent. Lawrence Okolie, ranked #1 by the WBC. I can't. I didn't really want to cover the fight. I wanted to complain about the opponent, and I did that. Because it's not a fight. It never was a fight. This was never a fight. In what league could this fight possibly be acceptable? Anthony Boca says Caballero will beat the nonsense out of Okolie. Crazy. Man, I don't believe nothing Okolie says. You're going to fight Okolie in that condition there? Really? And do what? And do what? Do what exactly? In that condition there? Come on now. Come on now. Not a good look. It's not a good look. I can only imagine what the commentary team is saying. I can't get my TV on right now, so I can't hear. But I can only imagine. They're probably not even complaining. They're probably just trying to gloss all over it. Isn't this a great event in Nigeria? Isn't it great to be in Africa and all this shit here? Dude, the match is awful. It's absolutely dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. I've watched boxing all week. From the Indigo, where I saw Howarth versus Vicioli main event. Good scrap. Then we saw AJ We knew that that was about. Yeah, we knew what that was about. Then we saw the BBC card, Troy Williamson winning the title from Callum Simpson. Great main event. We saw the main event in Ghana. Craig Richards knocked out Dan. And then this. It's Frank Warren's fault. Frank should never have allowed your main event guy to fight this guy. You should never have allowed your #1 WBC ranked heavyweight to fight that guy. Never. 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 And I'm not saying he has to fight a killer, but that's unacceptable. It's a joke. Base the kid said Okolie should have 3 losses on his record right now. 1 to CBS, 1 to the fridge, and 1 to the scales. His condition is absolutely dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. Yeah, Tony got another point. Yeah, they're digging up Cartel and Tetteh. Cartel was just as bad for Tony Yoka. Yeah, Cartel was just as bad. This is like, well, what's going on? You're a former Olympian, deep into your career, fighting that guy there. Tony Yoka, Olympic gold medalist. My Lord. Diobi Newley says, I told you, without Turkey, Frank is an awful promoter. Yeah, that was... Nah. No. Come on, man. Tony said, Cartel is 404th in the world, for crying out loud. Yeah, this to me, it's the pits. It's the absolute pits. That sucks. That absolutely sucks. You know, Dan Aziz versus Craig Richards. It's a good main event. It's a good main event. Yeah. The chief support, Freezy Matt Bones versus Tetteh. Not this Tetteh here, the unbeaten Tetteh. It's a good chief support. But, you know, Yoka versus Okolie. I mean, not that's the fight that's what it should have been, Yoka versus Okolie. Yeah. Instead, they're fighting 2 separate, like absolute, not even sparring material. Hey, listen, I don't mind saying it, bro. If the brothers on the continent get mad, if this is the best you can do, Nigeria, you might as well give it up. You might as well give it up. Guzzy, why do you keep mentioning the fight is over? Why do you keep mentioning that? No one's talking about flipping hell. No, you can't say that, Base. He was part of the show. How much heavyweights did he have on the show? It was a co-production with Amir Khan. It was co-promoted with Khan. Yeah. So Warren has to take responsibility. At the end of the day, Amir Khan don't promote them guys. He promotes them. And if they're in them type of fights, whoever is blaming Warren is correct. Whoever is blaming Warren is absolutely correct. You can't say this. That don't make sense what you're saying, Base. There's two of his promoted heavyweights on there, bro. There's two of his heavyweights promoted on there. So whether it's on the paperwork or not, and I did see it on the paper. I saw it on some of the paperwork that either Frank Warren or Queensbury. I saw it on some of the paperwork. Yeah. He's co-signed it. Bottom line, he has co-signed it. No problem, Guzzy. He's co-signed it. Absolute trash. Nah, they shouldn't. If they're gonna put on chief supports and main events like that, nah, they should get up and get out and get out of there and stay out of the big boy league. Yeah, leave it alone. Leave it alone. I don't care who's insulted or who don't like it. Leave it alone. If you can't put on good standard boxing, yeah, leave it alone. You didn't have to put either Yoka or Okolie in with killers. But both opponents were zero substandard opposition. Conte and Tetteh, absolute mediocrity, garbage, trash, junk, waste of my Sunday watching, useless. Yeah? Mr. Pads, I mean events aside from this one, but the concept of events outside of the bigger markets. Yo, look, I don't know how you're rewording the question, yeah? I answered your question. If that's what you're producing in the chief support and main events, stay the fuck out the game. Jim, he said, I enjoyed the McBones fight. It was a scrappy affair. Yeah, you see, it was cagey, you know what I mean? Like his opponent had an unorthodox way about him and had some weird idiosyncrasies. You know what I mean? It was a way better fight than that. I don't know what Freezy was doing biting his opponent in the shoulder though. I don't know what went wrong there. And Dan Aziz had his moments in that fight. It went back and forth. It finished in the 12th. I mean, like anyone who couldn't see it looked like an absolute joke. That Tetteh tottering round the ring without even getting hit. Come on, man. Like, flipping hell. Flipping hell, Lawrence. Comedy. Let me get it off that, man. That card there. Unacceptable. And then Ajit Cabello is fighting some garbage opponent next year. But I don't think he's as bad as that, though. I don't think he's nowhere near as bad as Tetteh, in all fairness. Yeah, no way around it. Frank has to take some responsibility. Got to take some responsibility. Bottom line, he's their promoter. Any matchmaking, regardless if his name is on the paperwork, falls back on him. If Eddie Hearn, it was Eddie Hearn who sent Troy Williamson out to the BBC. And he upset the odds. Big win. Big win. He's the matchroom fighter right now. I don't know if they're contracted or it's options, but if Eddie sends him out or outsources him, it's some garbage that falls on Eddie. You're his promoter. You outsource him or you find him fights on Matchroom. Can't wash your hands of it. 100% disagree with what Bass is saying. 100%. Yeah, Freezing My Bones is a crazy name. Daniel said Okolie is just shit. His conditioning is absolute dreadful. Daniel said he didn't watch it. How was the card? Daniel, be grateful that you didn't lose them precious minutes out of your life watching the Tony Yoka opponent and the Lawrence Okolie opponent. Precious moments out of your life. Absolute terrible. How is it like Garner said and you say you want to get into big boxing, Nigeria, and thing. Not Ghana. I mean, Ghana did what they did, put on a good show. But the Nigerians, seriously. Amir Khan, you want to be a promoter? Are you serious? Yo, Frank, if you got too much heavyweights on your roster, right, and you can't book spots for them because you got too much and you're outsourcing them into this garbage here, then you're not doing a good job. Brandon, you're going to watch the... Yeah, you should watch it. You need to watch it. You need to watch it. You need to watch it. Big up Tory. So there's channels I respect on the Mount Rushmore of talking boxing. At the tip of the top is the great mountain. There is an incomparable wisdom of boxing beats and rides. Big up Toro. Big up Toro. Appreciate it. Big up the pencil. Yeah, Brandon, it's up to you, bro. It's up to you if you're going to watch it. It's up to you. Yeah? See, when Fraser Clark fought Tetteh, yeah? He was coming off getting his jaw and his cheekbone shattered. Right? And Tetteh took Dillian a few rounds. Fair enough, Fraser. We understand. But after that, he fought for the British title. What's fucking Okolie doing? It's a joke. It's a joke, Lawrence. Daniel said they made a huge mistake not matching Okolie with Adelaide. They could have made so many matchups with the amount of heavyweights they've got on there. Lawrence trying to sell the event. Yeah, we're going back to Africa. Yeah. It's real Foreman versus Ali in Zaire, isn't it? Come on. The con shit. Yeah? The con man shit. being forced upon people. Crazy. Absolute crazy. Yeah, man. I think after that, why Adelaide was taken off the card, I don't know. I ain't got a receipt. I don't know. I don't know. I was supposed to finish my roundup today, man, but after watching that, I'll have to tackle it tomorrow because I didn't really set up the hangout to commentate on the fight. I came on there to complain, and that's what I'm doing. I came on there to complain about the fight and these fake ranking systems. Absolutely atrocious. Look, people are criticizing Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate fought someone at least a comparable level. Yeah. It was more of an even matchup than this. Madness, bro. Madness. I'll tell you what, bro. Daniel said, Okolie moving like a snake turned me off him. Okolie has no delusions of grandeur. He needs to realize he's really not. Attention said, Okolie has delusions of grandeur. He needs to realize he's really not that popular. Daniel said he's reverted back to his old styles too. It's just just. Joe Boy is asking how Okolie looked. Joe Boy, it's like he looks shit. He's out of shape, man. He's out of shape, right? So he's fighting weak opposition because he's not in shape. And Tetteh, it's fucking dreadful. It's dreadful. It's absolute dreadful. If it wasn't in Ghana and they put that on a main event in the UK, the crowd would have booed it out the flipping arena. But because, like the Nigerians are grateful to get an event, and it makes me question it like, what are they doing over there? Are they just like queuing up to see boxing? And none of them know how to analyze the matchup. If they had a serious boxing commission out there, they would have known that, okay, Lawrence is a number one ranked heavyweight. He's won titles at cruiser and a bridgerweight trinket. Yeah. They would have looked at Tetteh and his flipping logbook and said, no. So I can't take Nigeria serious right now. No, I can't. Can't take Amir Khan serious. No. Unacceptable. The beauty of the pencil says Okolie has never been that guy. He was in the game for the money and fame. Only for the money and the fame, extra large. He said, after seeing the fights, the highs of AJ's current shape and commitment is evident for the lack of respect for the fight game and fight fans. Yeah, what you said there, the great point. AJ got himself back up to 240. Lawrence is coming in like, what did Lawrence look like in there? Flipping hell, bro. At least turn up in shape. Crazy. Absolute crazy. Ebeneezer Tetteh. Yeah, Del Boy. Richards and Aziz was a much better look over in Ghana. Yeah, solid main event. Yep. Good win for Richards. Wouldn't mind him with Whittaker next. Yeah. Yeah, Eddie's not going to make that fight. I mean, they've already pulled out of the Joshua Boatsy fight, so they're not going to fight Craig Richards. You know what I mean? Like, all that is a smokescreen. You know what I mean? Like, you say you're fighting for the WBC silver belt, but as soon as they match you with a next opponent, then what? They have to withdraw you from the eliminator. Are they going to let him keep the belt as well? You know what I mean? It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. Brent says Okolie is a rat, Judas Iscariot. I don't know I don't know about all that. He doesn't know AJ anything. I don't know. I understand what you guys are saying, but he doesn't know AJ. If they're paying him to spar, they pay to. He's not AJ's blood brother. They used to kick around for a few years when he was a 258, and now he's breaking out and doing his own thing. I don't care if he spars with Jake. Ebeneezer came for the Christmas. But I see what you guys are saying, though. Daniel said Nigeria ran game on everyone today. Yeah, living up. Yeah, Daniel, I'm glad you said it. I'm not going to repeat it, Daniel. I'm glad you said it and I didn't. I was thinking the same thing. I said, but I can't say that. Yeah. I can't say that. It's not a good look for it's not a good look for them, Daniel. It's not a good look putting on a show like that. It really ain't a good look. Exactly what you said there. Bang on the money. Living up to the stereotype, the scam. Yeah. Bang on the money. It's not a good look. It makes it, like, because people have a certain impression of Africa. And they'll shove the whole idea they have into the whole continent when it's made up of different regions and so many different countries. But putting on a show like that, right? It just lives up to that impression that they're not professional. It's all like, I mean, like a bit antiquated. They're behind the times. They don't know how to really do it. And this just put like, Daniel hit it on the money. Daniel said what I didn't want to say. He said what I didn't want to say. He said exactly what I didn't want to say. Del Boy said, it sounds like Khan dropped the ball on this one. The last card he did with Glanton and Brown was actually a good start. Yeah, that wasn't actually bad. That wasn't actually bad. In all fairness, that weren't bad. In all fairness, that one weren't bad. That weren't bad. That weren't bad. This one here, not good. Ramon said there were like 10 people in the crowd. Flipping terrible, man. Yeah, the fight is finished. The fight is finished. No, that's good. What was the worst opponent? C-Ran. I wonder if there will be a fallout for Ade endorsing this nonsense. Who was worse, Yoka's opponent or Okolie's? Daniel said the problem is not the sparring. The problem is he's wasting his time sparring Jake. You should be taking your camp seriously. Man. Anyone really believes he's going to fight Moses in that condition there? Yeah, it's not a good look. It's not a good look. After the Glanton Marcus Brown one, they needed to keep the standard up. Like some of you are pointing out the production, and you see with boxing, yeah, if you've got a crap production, and the production it's not sparkly, it's definitely not polished, yeah. If you've got good matches, yeah, if you've got good matches, then you can kind of overlook unprofessional production. But the matches were just like, oh no. Base says we can cut Yoka some slack. He only got added on the card 2 weeks ago. Boy, Base, you looks like you really want to endorse it. Cut him to slack for what? Just don't put him on the card. Cut slack for what? Get him a decent opponent. Get him a decent fight. Yeah. There's good fights out there, right? There's good fights. I saw the guy who got damaged up by Jaya Pataya, the cruiserweight, got battered by Jai. He's been out for a long time. He had surgery. He came back and fought the Cuban in Miami and gave it his all. He lost the 10-rounder. But the Cubans ranked, what was it, high up in the WBA? I think #1, Jordan Thompson. If Jordan Thompson could fight that Cuban, you can't tell me Yoka or Lawrence should be fighting the opponents they fought tonight. No British heavyweight ranked should be fighting them guys. No way. Daniel said, I would like to see a better card in Nigeria, though. Nigeria is really booming right now. If they have a better setup, they can pull it off. I'll tell you what. Brent says Moses would light up Okolie. Brent said Okolie definitely added to the stereotype, but also another stereotype of them, man. Awful. Yeah, well, I tell you, base. I'm not cutting Yoka no slack, bro. I could see what was going to happen with that fight. I'm not cutting Yoka or Okolie no slack. None at all. None at all. This flu's kicking me in the ass, bro. So I'll probably give it, round it up to an hour and get out of it. Somebody said Okolie used to have an eating addiction when he was younger. And now he's at heavyweight, he's gone back to it. Mm-hmm. Brent said, you can't tell me Okolie is taking training seriously. Do you know just how much a man of his height and size has to eat to stay 270 after a full training camp? His excuse is that he's bigger and stronger. He's not bigger and stronger. He's not bigger and stronger. Yeah. He's not bigger and stronger. He hasn't fought no one at heavyweight. You watch his 3 fights at heavyweights, right? The first one was a gimme. Yeah? Frank gave him a nice pudding, a nice bit of Euro pudding. Yeah? The second fight against Lorena, who wasn't ranked, didn't have no current form to speak of, took him the distance. Easy. And then you get today's fight. It's a joke. Guzzi said plenty of boxers his size are in much better shape. Answer me this, yeah? How do you lose your 200-pound title in 2023, right? We're barely out of 2025, and now you weigh 270 pounds. Now, I can't run my mouth because I'm out of shape. But I'm 57, and I'm not a boxer. Yeah? Brent says, how are you having a full training camp in boxing and turning up fat? It's got to stop. Boxing is literally intense cardio. Well, he's not doing no cardio. He turns up and does a bit of sparring. He ain't doing no cardio. He's not eating a high protein diet or anything like that. Clearly not. If he ate a relatively high protein diet that most athletes are supposed to eat, you got to have some carbs as well because you need strength to refuel if you're doing all that cardio and sparring, right? Especially as a heavyweight, right? If he had a relatively high protein protein diet, was drinking adequate amounts of water with electrolytes a day, he wouldn't weigh that much. Yeah? Flipping hell. I don't know what's happened. Del Boy said even 18 months ago, he was low 20s against Rosansky. In that time, he's put on 50 pounds. He must be just jollof chicken and whatever, pounded yam. Just burying it. You know what I mean? Flipping hell, Lawrence. Jay Wood said he could probably get up to 300 pounds. Daniel says Povetkin would have put Okolie's out for the night. Mm-mm. That's why he's not fighting no dangerous opponents. And like Yoka. Oh man, that opponent, I was just like looking at the TV in amazement. Ramon says Joe Gallagher is embarrassing for the hype he gives Okolie. Easy even training him, and he should sack Okolie if he can't be bothered to stop eating. Daniel says put Okolie, plus Okolie is very top heavy. Isn't he a vegetarian too? How are these vegetarians getting so big. Look at Okolie. Yeah, like, you know, Okolie, he's not training. He's eating. He's eating. I don't know, man. 270. That's crazy. I don't know, man. Let's hope it picks up for them guys. Let's hope. Like, see, the thing is, no one's good. A lot of people are going to be scared to criticize Nigeria. You know why? Because big up to Ade, but Ade, give them time, guys. Give them time. Give them time. You ain't giving my subscription fee time. You want it now. You want the money now, innit? Yeah? Man, vote reform. I mean, shut the fuck up about vote reform. I mean, hey, vote reform. I don't think so, bro. I don't think so. Get out of it. Give him time, lads. Give him time. You know what I mean? All right, I tell you what. Give my subscription fee some time. You know what I mean? How about that? You know what I mean? You want time? Everybody want time. Tone, another rotten card. Scam. It's a scam, Tone. It's a scam. It was a scam. Emma, what's going on? I'm not watching the card tonight. You didn't miss nothing, Emma. You didn't miss nothing. Trust me, you didn't miss nothing. You didn't miss nothing. Tone said the weight issue will be his undoing. The weight is ridiculous. His body look like, I'm trying to work out the body shape. Because like someone said, he's top heavy. He don't have big legs, all right? I don't get it, Lawrence. I don't get it. See, Torma versus Franklin, even though I think damn, them girls are thirsty for AJ out there, man. The boxers, chicks turning up to watch. Look, MVP models, Layla, Gardner, even though she used to talk crap about AJ, she looked like she was trying to make a little play for him. They're on some electrolyte thing out there, bruh. Wow. You know what I'm sick of, yeah? I am sick of the media and this Prince Harry, Meghan obsession. It's boring, and it's flipping boring. Country's full of diseases right now. You know something? My immune's been like, I'm an old boy. My immune's been strong recently. Strong for months. Strong immune. I'm thinking, hey, this is great. All of a sudden, I'm laid up with this mad flu. And if you look, telling you, you go everywhere, you see people sneezing, sniveling, and blowing their nose. You look on the street, there's all types of phlegm being spat on the floor everywhere. Listen, man, fix up the country, yeah? And stop talking pure effery on your journalism platforms. Yeah, man. I don't know what Lawrence is eating, people. I really ain't got a clue what Lawrence is eating. I really haven't got a clue. But there's no way it's a high protein diet. There's no way a high you do like, as you guys were saying, that is height there with all the exercise and workout he's supposed to be doing. No way, no way, no way, no way. 250 the most. Toast says Black Forest Gâteau for breakfast, you know. Yeah. Sugar spike straight away. That's what Lawrence is. Lawrence is eating the sugar spike foods. And he's eating a lot of it. That's what he's doing. Lawrence ain't going for the high protein option. He's not going for that. Flipping hell, man. Then you had the IBA just the other week saying they're putting on a WBA heavyweight title fight. Gassiev versus Pulev. Come on, man. This is crazy. Who's Gassiev going to fight next? The beauty of the pencil says the girls were enamored seeing AJ. The US crowd, who once showed him so much disdain, have now completely taken to him. There were secret admirers from afar all along. Yeah, they seem to have really taken to him over there. Daniel said, there's a mad one going around right now. Flu keeps mutating. Yes. Yes. Keeps mutating, man. You know what I mean? I'm wondering how I got caught up, man. You know what I mean? What they need to do is cut the borders off, bro. You know what I mean? I don't care if it sounds xenophobic. I really couldn't care less. Yeah. Don't let no people come bringing anything. Them have where them arrest outside the borders. If it sounds in I don't care. I don't care. Cut the borders off. Yeah. We're not letting nobody until we get control of the mutations. Yeah. Can't come in. Get some quarantines going on. Whatever is necessary. Because the amount of people I'm seeing is sick out there. It's not good. And a lot of these people, they're serving you your food at the counter. And there's some people, listen, I nearly got into it the other day. I'm not going to say what nationality the man was because, you know what I mean, someone's going to take offense in the thing. So I won't say. Yeah? The man was coughing directly on the food. And I said, what the fuck are you doing? And he looked at me like surprised. I said, dude, you're coughing right on the food. You don't even cut. I can't deal with the world. I hate the world. They really just like. You need to just get a firing squad. Big up Phil Larkin. My review. I'll have to start the review tomorrow, but I probably won't finish it until Tuesday or Wednesday. And I'm gonna have to cover this nonsense, innit? I'm just probably gonna edit some of what I'm talking about the Okolie fight. Disgrace. Eddie Hearn believes that Dalton Smith is going to beat a juiced up Sabrel Matthias in Puerto Rico. I don't know, bro. You know what I mean? Like, how do you get caught with the violation? You get caught with the violation. There's no doubt that strict liability should rule him out of defending his belt. But VADA have a different standard for how much Osterine you can have from WADA. I don't know, man. I don't know how it works. Boxing it's run so badly. It's like mind-boggling how badly the sport is ran. Yeah, stop the boats, Daniel. Yeah, you know what I mean? Stop the boats. Stop the boats, bro. Turn them back. You know what I mean? Make them go paddle the boat back to where it come from. Don't let them in until we get this shit here contained. Because it's not going to get any better. It's not going to get any better. We need to get a grip. And they're trying to hide how bad the flu is, the epidemics are. Like you said, all these different strains just keep mutating. Yeah, I'll try and finish the review quick, but I just won't. I probably just won't edit it very heavily. Just I can't anyway. I'm only working on the PC. I haven't got the laptop right now. The laptop mess up. I mean, I can't get any out the equipment from the studio. Idiot boy locked it all up, didn't he? Didn't give no one a key. So I'm just stuck. I went to the studio. I couldn't even get in. I went. Oh, you've looked it all up. Flipping hell, mate. So I can't get that on my laptop. So I would have had it all finished. But something's telling me that yo, I need to slow down until New Year's on the video anyway. So things happen for a reason. I'm not in a hurry to finish the review. I'm not in a hurry. Apart from the low weights, America is missing at heavyweight, says Guzzy. They tried to bring Wilder back, shaking my head. Is Wilder fighting Usyk next, or is he going to take another fight before? I don't know what's happening with that. I don't know what's happening. Wilder versus Gassiev. That should be the fight. Wilder versus Gassiev. Yeah. G-Man, he said, what the F was that? Lawrence Okolie stops Ebeneezer Tetteh. You're damn right, what the F was that? You're damn right. I think it's a bit of a joke, isn't it? Everyone's laughing at Andrew Tate, and I'm not talking about what he talks about because it's for teenage boys what he says. Yeah, so I'm not going to get into that. But he was cut. He was tired. He's 40 years of age, and he hung in there. And he was hurt a few times. I watched the fight. Why are we laughing at him? Exactly. Why are people so quick to laugh at people who go in boxing rings? He did look shit though. He did look shit. I will say that, but I wouldn't laugh at him. I'd just say, yeah, you're not about that life really. And he's 40 as well. Ugh, boy, this cold, this flu shit is. I'm telling you, it's a disaster. It's not good, man. Yeah, there's no real stars. Like, what happened to Jared Anderson, man? He hasn't recovered from the Okolie thing yet. What's Richard Torres doing? If AJ can't beat bloody Cassius Chaney, then he should pack up. I think he needs a few more warm up, but he shouldn't be waiting for Fury. If he's serious about a comeback, he should be fighting enough, man. Fight in February, March, April. But I don't think he can do that. He's an old boy now. AJ ain't no young boy. Just because he looks like he's in shape. See them once the man get into the 30s and stuff, their bodies can't recover from the training camps that quick. Okolie hinted that Jared was getting beat up by Jake in sparring. Oh no. That's probably why he thought he could beat AJ. You know what I mean? He's sparring all them guys in there. Because he said, I think AJ said no. He said no tune-ups, Fury next. But he's not going to get Fury. Fury's going to dance around that fight. I make AJ wait. Yeah, I'll fight AJ. I'm retiring. He's going to start all that crap. He's going to start all that crap. Don't wait around for Fury. Yeah? I think if he's serious about it, one more warm-up and try to take Wardley's belt. All Wardley's got is one big bang of a punch. I don't know, man. You're going to have to look at the box rec. I haven't got all the answers for who exactly fought on the card. Tom said the sport moves too slowly. Yeah, it does. Snail's pace. Yeah, you're right, Ramon. What fight are we talking about with Torres? Because top rank, if whatever, yeah. And Sanchez, yeah, no one's interested in it. Who's going to bid for it? Like you said, like, what is the point the sanctioning body's making a fight like Torres and Sanchez? Sanchez, PBC, what are they going to bid? Top rank, they ain't bidding nothing. Nobody wants to see that fight. Make them fight for free. Let's see if they take it. Yeah, like, see, the thing is, AJ needs to be active. Yeah, if he's just playing to fight Fury, cool. Then wait Fury out because he's just as inactive. But if he's serious about moving and shaking in the division, he needs more fights than what he had Friday. He needs more fights. Jared is just 26. Guzzy says he agrees with that. Fury won't do AJ next. Yeah, you can't rely on Fury. Like Fury's just like it's a joke. Fury's a joker. It's a joker. Jared is just 26, That one Okolie fight just ruined him, man. Just ruined him. I mean, Okolie got beat worse than he did, and he came back quicker than Jared to fight a Jagba. Jared is just proving he hasn't got the resilience. You lose one fight, right? And he's not in his 30s, like when AJ got knocked out by Dubois. He's in his 20s. He was about 24 when he lost to Okolie. One fight. And he has got no desire to get back in the mix. Or even like to call out Okolie and say, yo, let's do it again. Nah, done. No fighting spirit at all. None at all. None at all. The old American heavyweights, if they had took a loss like that, they would have laughed it off and got back in the ring. But it's a different era, isn't it? It's like I was watching what's the I was watching this documentary on YouTube. I wasn't even meant to watch it, but it just caught my attention. I'm not watching it. It was about a hustler from Detroit. Maserati something from Detroit. It was a serious like story, real life. It's real life, and like they were pushing weight, and yeah, I mean, speaking about like the different territories and how much they were pushing, how much they were making, and then one of the feds spoke at the end of the documentary, and he said the difference between that's it, Maserati Rick, that's the one, Tone, bang on the money, Maserati Rick. The Fed at the end, he said the difference between the dealers then and now is the old school ones, they knew they did something bad when they got. So they'll make a plea and they're okay, you have to do 10, 20. They do their plea and they get on with their bird. He said the dealers now, they expect to go home with a slap on the wrist. And they're trying to make all type of deals that isn't possible. They can't accept the bird. They're just weak in it. It's just like the boxers today compared to the old school. Just a different level of threshold. You know what I'm saying? Imagine the boxers today like Marvin Hagler having to wait till they had, what was it, 40 fights. I think Marvin had about 40 fights before he got a world title shot. They would have gave up long time ago. Long time ago. Yeah, the story was sick in a tone. Like the flipping Detroit's a really dangerous place, isn't it? Like everyone talks about Chirac and that. Detroit is mad dangerous. Flip it now. Like, yeah, the boxers, they're just not as tough. You look at the Charlo brothers, like, they were actually good fighters. Not great, but they were really good fighters. And like the way they just melted away from the board, it's just like, what happened there, really? Errol Spence. These are good. Errol was a good fighter, very good fighter. The fight with him and Crawford should never have went how it went. But he lost his discipline. He lost his desire. He lost it. Drinking, partying. He lost his desire. And look at that. When did he lose to Crawford? It was years back now. We're going on to the third year. Hasn't returned to the ring. That's crazy, man. It's just crazy. That is absolutely crazy. I remember when I was watching, reading the accounts of battling Siki. And he was a soldier. And I haven't got the story. I think probably we're talking the First World War, where they used to encounter the British soldiers, you know what I mean, as allies, I'm assuming, or whatnot, or maybe not, in certain bars or pubs, and they used to have fights, not just fighting, like proper boxing, like bare knuckle scraps and stuff like that, but fair straighteners, you know what I mean, man to man straighteners. And he said the English fighters would manfully take their beatings and not complain or cry about it. That's what he said, battling Siki. First black light heavyweight champion, beat George Compartier. So they were manfully take their beatings. It's weird that like how people how people looked on boxing back in the day to how they look on it today. I actually like, to me, I don't look at what's his name? Andrew Tate as a failure for losing a boxing match. I don't. His face was cut. Listen, most men his age, he's 40, right? Most men age 40, let alone my age, wouldn't even last a round in that same fight. They wouldn't even get through half a round. That's the truth. That is the truth. Won't get through half a round. They wouldn't even, I'll even go one further, right? They wouldn't even get through the training camp. They wouldn't even get through the training camp, let alone get into the ring to fight. They wouldn't even get through the training camp. Is that unfair or is that true? Cophead, he said, Spence's desire left after the car crash, in my opinion. It was before that, bro. It was before that. He was screwing up before that. Yeah? There was all them reports coming out that he had an alcohol problem before the crash. Before the crash. When he was hanging out, what was the guy who beat up Bruno he used to hang with? Can't remember his name now. The crash was just a byproduct of issues he had. Cophead, Toad says that Cophead, he was at a boozer before the crash, but no doubt the crash contributed something. Yes. Yeah, his chickens came to roost the night against Bud. It all came on top that night. Bud brought everything crashing down to earth of what went wrong in Spence's career. Everything. Just wrecked it. Just wrecked it that night, bro. And it's like I said, yeah? You see when fighters are defected like Spence because of the self-damage they've done to themselves. Yeah, you could be self-damage and beat Sean Porter. Self-damage and beat the Cuban. Self-damage and beat Danny Garcia. But when you're damaged like that and you try to fight Crawford, then it's no. No. You have to be near perfect to beat Terence Crawford. Near perfect. You have to be like in Sugar Ray Leonard shape in his prime. Yeah? Wilfred Benitez shape in his prime. Wow. Errol Spence was a really good fighter, bro. He was a really good fighter. Not an average fighter. He was really good. Really good. But that's how it goes, man. What can we say? What can we say, bro? The whole of that PBC roster is just like Thurman, Spence, Sean's retired, the Charlos, Wilder. Caleb. They're old as well. You got to take into account wear and tear and aging. You know what I mean? They're getting on. They're getting on. It's not like AJ Fury. They're old now. They're old. Aging fighters. They're old. Aging. And it's the mentality, man. It's the mentality. None of them PBC fighters, or even the British fighter. There's no boxer today who would have waited 50 fights in before they got a title shot and still been around. They would have jacked it in. They would have jacked it in, man. 50 fights. Yeah, man. It is what it is. Hagler waited into this 50th fight. Told said he looked worse after facing Bud than he did after the car crash. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. But I tell you what, even though he was damaged, the heart he showed against, but like he took such a beating, bro. And you know what was really bad? He's really trying to get back in the fight. Remember when he landed that left hook on Bud, and Bud just came back with a counter straight away and knocked him down, just like bam. He hit Bud with that left hand. Bud just went boom, lick him straight back, and decked him. He took such a beating, bro. But he didn't give up. He didn't give up. Conte would like to have seen the rematch at 154 if it happened with a form up. What for? What is it you wanted to see him get beaten up again? What do you think? Did you see what he done to Canelo? That guy can't beat Bud Crawford, bruh. It's done. He can't beat Bud at 147, 150. He can't beat him. Listen, Spence said he wanted the rematch at 154, right? Bud said no, 147, because that was all part of who won the fight. Like, you get to decide what contracted weight the rematch is going to be at, all right? If Bud had said 154, Errol still would have found a way out of making that fight after that beating he took. You think you could get back in the ring and fight the same man a couple of months after that beating he took? Nah, bro. No. It would have made no difference at all. It would have made no difference. He didn't lose because he was weight drained. He lost because he was a damaged fighter and Bud was just too good for him. Too good. Ruined his career that night. Sad. If he doesn't come back by, let's say, June next year, it's a wrappers. Beauty the Pencil says, sorry to digress, but I just seen Tetteh again. There's no way that guy isn't in his 60s. The man is an old boy, Lawrence had no business fighting him. None at all. None at all. It was a shocking matchup. A shocking matchup. Shocking matchup. It's just to be honest, but like boxing's always done shit like this. It's not just the modern era. Boxing's always done shit like this. You know what I mean? Like I try, so even I do it, and I consciously try not to put a rose-colored reflection on the old school. Let me tell you this, man. In the 80s, when I used to watch boxing in this country, and the Cartel used to run boxing, that's Duff, what's his name? Astaire, Barrett, Lawless. They used to use an American guy named Johnny Bush. He used to work with what's his name again? Joey Gamache. He used to manage him. They used to use Johnny Boss, right? For matchmaking. He'd get opponents. You know what his nickname was? His nickname was the Grave Digger. Johnny Boss's nickname was the Grave Digger. Because basically, he was pulling out dead bodies for these high-profile promoters and their fighters to feast on them. That was the whole setup in the 80s. If you want to know what 80s boxing was like in Britain, Leo Tang looked very good. He looked very good. The Gravedigger, the Cartel, Royal Albert Hall, Wembley Arena. The Cartel getting all the fight dates, all the TV money, all the TV slots. No other promoter could get a piece of the action. The BBC would hand over your license money to the Cartel, and they made a fortune. I'll tell you what, man, like, it was a manipulation. It was horrible manipulation. Horrible. It was a horrible manipulation. So it's not nothing new. Like, I think Johnny Boss got Chuck Gardner for Frank Bruno, right? They got this guy named Chuck Gardner. Frank Bruno's fighting in France. I think it was in Cannes. I mean, like, and you wonder to yourself, why did the Cartel take this card out to Cannes? You know why they took it to Cannes or Cannes, they call it in France? It's because like crowd would have probably lynched someone if you bought Chuck Gardner in, like, and Bruno took him out with one punch, one innocuous punch in the first round. He knocked the guy out. And when he was on the canvas, they took his gum shield out and his false teeth out. Like, this guy was in no shape to fight at all, man. In no shape. Yeah. It's crazy. So it's not new. It's not new. Tone said the press had a field day when Bruno beat Chuck Gardner. Gardner was a pub man. Yeah, the press, like, British boxing was on the dock, because that's prime time viewing on a Saturday. It was in the dock. I remember Henry Cooper did his nut on the broadcast. He did his nut. You saying that guy did some training for the fight? Yeah, gosh, man. Crazy. Bruno had some horrible opponents, man. Remember, there was John Emmon. There was a guy named John Emmon, and they got into an exchange, and Bruno hit him with a couple of shots. And he's thumping him in his head, but all of a sudden, your leg mash up. Horrible. Another French opponent. He was French. I don't think that fight was in France, but he was a French guy. John Emmon was terrible. And let's have a look at some of them horrible opponents for Frank. I've got a few on the tip of my tongue. I just can't remember the names. I'll tell you some of the good ones and some of the bad ones. Let's go for it. Frankie. Oh, they served Frank up some stiffs, bro. They did it, Frank. Let's be real. They served you up some stiffs, mate. Let's go to Frank's box, Rick. Let me tell you some of the real puddings. Because from Frank's debut, his fights were all on BBC One. All right, so we know the early ones are all puddings, yeah. It is what it is. Scott Ledoux. Scott Ledoux was tough. He fought the likes of Ken Norton. He was a tough fringe contender. He fought Larry Holmes for the title. But he was washed by the time Frank got him. You had Barry Funches, the punching postman. He weren't very good. Mike Jameson. He took Mike Tyson a few rounds, and Bruno iced him in 2. That was in America. Bill Sharkey. No good. But the Floyd Cummings, Bruno nearly got knocked out in that fight. He nearly got knocked out. Cummings was basically a jailbird. You know what I mean? Chicago bad man, gangster. You know what I'm saying? Roadman. And I remember that fight because you looked at Cummings' physique. He was the only opponent that Bruno had faced who had similar like physique to him. A jailhouse physique, innit? And he landed that right hand at the end of the second round, I believe it was. And Bruno was out on his feet, bro. He was out on his feet. And the referee basically, he leant on the referee and kind of like Terry Lawless jumped in and they pulled him back to the corner and he recovered and he won the fight. Walter Santamore wasn't no good. Figueroa washed. But then you get that 1984 card at Wembley Arena. If you look at Bruno's box record, all the fights at Wembley Arena or the Royal Albert Hall, and only the Cartel could get them to arenas. They belonged to the Cartel. When they fought Bone Crusher Smith, he was 13-1-0. He lost on his debut to amateur standout James Broad. Bone Crusher was in the Navy. He learnt to box in the Navy. He got battered by Broad in his debut, but he recovered to put some wins together. And on this night, this is sports night, I'll never forget this, yeah? They brought Bone Crusher over. And the other prospect that the cartel had was Mark Kaler, who passed away the other week, right? They brought over Bone Crusher Smith and they brought over Buster Drayton from Philly. At this time, no one had heard of Bone Crusher. No one had heard nothing about Buster Drayton. And the walls came crumbling down for the cartel that night. Crumbling down. Buster Drayton knocked out Kayla in a fight where they kept stopping the action to save Kayla. It was weird, and they couldn't save him though. And Kayla was knocked out brutally. Bruno was ahead on the scorecards against Bone Crusher. And in the 10th round, he got caught with a punch, and all he had to do was tie up, but he didn't know how to tie up. He didn't know how to hold didn't have the survival instincts. He got caught with a shot and he got knocked out. Bad night for the cartel. Terry Lawless, who was part of the cartel, he used to manage Bruno and Kayla. He was going to retire. He took it so badly. He was going to retire from the game, but he was persuaded not to. But, you know, they brought Bruno back, dusted him off. I'm guessing the Gravedigger got Ken LaCousta. But then again, George Foreman fought LaCousta, the Canadian, on his comeback. Listen, on George Foreman's comeback, Bob Arum fed George some turkeys. Turkeys, not EY. Turkeys, 2 E's. Turkeys. I remember the Jeff Jordan opponent they brought in for Bruno. He was terrible. I don't know how he got into round 3. And there's this one here, Philip Brown, right? Now, Philip Brown, right? He was knocked out by Jerry Cooney previously when Cooney was just embarking on a comeback. Cooney brutalized him. He took Bruno the distance. It was a 10-rounder. Let me tell you something, right? That Wednesday night, I'm waiting to see the boxing, waiting to see Frank Bruno take on Philip Brown. The whole country's waiting. Yeah? You're talking when boxing was on Grandstand, millions of people are watching. And when the likes of Bruno and McGuigan are fighting, millions and millions and millions of people are waiting to see boxing. So I'm tuning into Grandstand now. All of a sudden I hear, what did they give a reason? But they said, for whatever reason, they can't show Bruno versus Philip Brown. They can't show the fight. I say, what do you mean you can't show the fight? They showed about a 10-second clip of it and then pulled it off. They can't show. I said, what do you mean you can't show the effing fight? So no one got to see the fight. So we're talking 1984, this happened. And it wasn't until about 3 or 4 years ago I found out that the fight was so bad, they decided not to air it. It was so bad. But to me, they shouldn't be able to. If that was a football match, they wouldn't have did that. That's taxpayers' money. You shouldn't have the right to veto the fight. We want to see the fight. If it's crap, let me see the really crap fight. Because them days, we weren't getting live recordings. These weren't live. They weren't going live. They was delayed. It was delayed by an hour or so. The main event was delayed. We didn't really get a lot of live events until Frank Warren started broadcasting on ITV. That's when we started getting live events. Then they fed him Lucy and Rodriguez. He previously took Larry Holmes and Michael Dogs the distance. Bruno got rid of him in one. That was a good result. It was a good result. Bruno had power. He had power. Like when he destroyed, like next fight, he destroyed Anders Eklund for the European title. He had power. Now, right, you got Chuck Gardner, you got Cherry, you got Reggie. Reggie Gross actually gave him a few issues, didn't he? That's weird. There are two fights on the bounce there. The Chuck Gardner fight in Cannes, and then the Reggie Gross fight was in Marbella. Then John Emmon, yeah, after Tyson battered him. Who was the real bad one? Rudolfo Martin. Yeah, that was 1995. That was a really crappy opponent, man. Rudolfo, that was terrible. Dreadful. It's online. The angriest I see Frank Bruno fight was against Jose Ribalta. Ribalta was a tall Cuban fighter. He was durable. He gave Tyson one of his first hardest fights. I think he took Tyson into the 10th. Tyson stopped him in the 10th. And Bruno had retina problems even before his pro career kicked off. And he was just coming back. He was just coming back. What year was it? I'm trying to think what year it was when he fought my guy. Memories just gone really bad. I've got it all on a tape. All right, it was 92. Yeah, he was out for a little while. After he fought Tyson, he had the pudding. After he fought Tyson, he retired. Retina damage. And Ribalta said when he came to the UK that if he's got damage in his eye, he's going to blind him and mess up his other eye as well. And Bruno took real offense to that. Bruno knocked Ribalta out so bad. I've never seen Bruno fight that angry. He actually fought angry. Bruno knocked Ribalta out so bad. Like when he threw the last right, you heard it. You heard the punch. You're like, boom. He flattened him, man. Flattened him. Yeah, the Rodolfo Martin was horrible. And he fought Mike Evans in Scotland. Mike Evans was an interesting opponent. Like he couldn't cut it as a pro. Bruno knocked him out in 2. Right. But Mike Evans actually stopped Mike Tyson, a young Mike Tyson in the amateurs. He stopped him. No, that wasn't Mike Evans. I'm thinking of Al Evans. No, that's a different Evans. See, I'm getting you false information. Mike Evans, or was it? Was it Mike Evans or Al Evans? Let me see. Al Evans, Mike Tyson. Was it Mike Evans? Yes, Al Evans. Right, it's a different. Who did Al Evans? Derek Williams fought Al Evans. Derek Williams. He battered out, but Al just couldn't cut it as a pro. Yeah. Oh, Al Evans passed away about a year ago. He passed away. He stopped Mike Tyson in the 1982 U.S. Amateur Championships. So Mike was just a kid, basically. Just a kid, about 15, 16. And Al was a full-grown, seasoned amateur. Yeah, Reggie Gross, part-time boxer, as you said, Tone, and part-time hitman. Yeah, yeah. Wow. Oh, Gary Mason, same system, Coppen. Johnny Boss, fed them a lot of stiffs. They got fed a lot of stiffs. Fed a lot of stiffs. Blowouts. Yeah. A lot of stiffs. A lot of old fighters past their prime. Same system. Because the cartel, they had three guys at heavyweight. Frank, Gary Mason, and Horace Notice. None of them, the three of them didn't fight each other. We didn't see that. Gary Mason was born in Jamaica. I think Horace Notice was born in Jamaica. Frank Bruno was of Jamaican parentage. And you know the irony? All three of them lost their careers to eye retina damage. All of them. Horace Notice only had about 15 fights and retired with retina damage. He was a small heavyweight. He never lost. He was undefeated. I think he won the British title. He won the Commonwealth title. He beat Hugh Roy Curry twice. Then he had that fight with Troy Waters' brother, Guy Waters, the heavyweight. And the amount of punches he thumped up this guy with, this Australian guy, and he wouldn't go down. That was crazy. Horace Notice. Yeah, man. Tom said Mason fought his fair share of stiffs, but had some decent wins. Well, Bigfoot Martin was durable, very durable. And he lost to Lennox Lewis. But most of them were past their prime. Like most of his opponents were past their prime. Gary Mason. All right, let's see. Let's have a quick look at Mason while we're here. He fought Quick Tillis, didn't he? You see, he stopped the likes of Quick Tillis. Tillis was washed. Yeah. I tell you what, man, Mason had some see Steve G and them guys, man. They were just gatekeepers, British gatekeepers. Denroy Brown, Ivy Brown, Mark Young. You see, these guys fought the likes of Bruno and Foreman, but they were washed. Oscar Holman. The story of Oscar Holman. He fought a guy named Oscar Holman in 1986. So Oscar Holman, right, was scheduled to fight on a Frank Warren card. Traveled to America and failed the brain scan. I'm talking failed it badly. Wasn't allowed to fight. Mason, like I said, had retina issues. So the board wouldn't license Mason. Mason had fell out with the cartel, but they run boxing. They run boxing. Mickey Duff tells Gary Mason, if you don't re-sign with us, I will make sure you never fight in this country again. That's the truth. That's what people don't understand. Like box, it was really dictatorship. It was a real dictatorship. Yeah, these guys make Frank Warren choir boys. You'll never fight in this country again, and he was deadly serious. And in all truth, he shouldn't have been allowed in the ring. His retina issues were really bad. Next thing, he was licensed. He was licensed. Licensed to fight who? Oscar Holman. The same guy the board said failed the brain scan. Had irregularities, bad irregularities. They allowed him to fight Gary Mason in Wolverhampton with the cartel. Frank Warren's on record. He's on record testifying to that. Yeah. The old system is no better. In all truth, it's no better. You know what the difference is? We didn't have all the media that they have today. They hid so much shit because there was no media like we have today. And the media that they did have in Fleet Street were all paid off to keep all the dirty secrets secret. Not just in boxing, but this was a way of life for most industries outside of sport, outside of boxing. The media are paid off. Let me just get some water and I'll be back. Tony's asking, did Conte's management get the board to deny him a license towards the end of his boxing career? That I don't know. They could well have done. Although Conte was Cartel. He won that title from George Amuda with the Cartel. He was a good fighter, he was, the Liverpudlian guy. Still alive. Tone said at Coppin it was never on the cards. Stable mates and friends throughout. I think Mason would have given Frank a hard time, but would edge Frank with his jab and power. I don't know, Coppin, I don't know. Mason might have did it, Mason was tough, bro. He gave Frank, he gives Lennox a tough fight, man. Like, he's tough. Mason was tough, bro. Mason was tough. I'm not sure. Mason was very tough. I don't know about Conte's management. He didn't, from what I remember, he lost his title. Was it to Mate Parlov? Probably in Yugoslavia. I haven't got the box rec up. And then he lost them 2 fights to Matthew Saad Muhammad in America. So there might be something in what you're saying. That's an interesting story. John Conte, that's interesting. That wouldn't shock me if something like that happened. It wouldn't shock me. John Conte denied. British Boxing Board of Control license. Let's have a look. Yeah. It was following a brain scan, which effectively ended his boxing career. The board stated there was a big difference between being fit for living and being fit for boxing, and they would not allow him to fight again. Conte challenged the decision in court, but a judge upheld the board's concerns, making the ban permanent in the UK. This denial, after an already stellar career that included winning the WBC light heavyweight title, forced his retirement in 1981. That's interesting. All right. You learn something every day. Okay, so they challenged the board. Right. The publicized legal battle with the British Boxing Board of Control. Damn. I'll read the whole article on they've got because that was the Google overview, the AI overview. I'm gonna read the article later. Where you get that one from, Tone? Tone dug that out of the memory banks, bro. You know what I mean? I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that. All right, this is before this is before he lost the title. Not after he lost the title. This is after he lost the title. Okay. So his last fight was to James Dixon at Liverpool Stadium, the Stadium Liverpool. I didn't know about that. Veritas, what's good? Veritas says Okolie was actually hit clean in the clinch and he went down. The commentators didn't pick up on it. He was hurt and fought negatively then. Because he took a little time to get up from that clinch, didn't he? But I didn't want to say it was a knockdown because, you know what I mean? I wasn't sure. But he did take a little time to get up from that clinch. But I don't know. I'd have to look at it again. Let me tell you something, man. Boxing is so biased. I was watching that Georgie Vizioli in the week, and he won the fight against a tough opponent. The guy he was fighting was tough. Dave Allen Craig, Joe Howarth, he was tough. So I'm watching around and like they're basically talking about Giorgio is dominating and doing this. The guy busted George's nose and he's bleeding everywhere. And he's punching up George, and they're not picking up that the nose is busted. He's getting punched up. I was like, what? It's just Darren Barker, good commentator, but God, blimey, Darren. Corruption. But then, yeah, you see, there's more to it. I told, right? You know what happened? I haven't read the whole of it. I can see what's happened to Conte already. I can see. I can just reading that little piece there. You can already see. They really controlled the fighters back then, really badly. Right. You have the much publicized legal battle with the British boxing establishment promoters over financial and contractual arrangements, and in 1977 was stripped for his title for refusing to defend. But they say he was stripped. He lost the title to Mate Palov in Belgrade. One of 10 children from a West African father and English mother. He used the money earned Right. So what's the rest of that story say? Okay. He was okay. He didn't lose the title to Mate Parlev. I always thought he lost the title to him. He was stripped. So what was the fight against? Just like pick. I'm having to fix up my boxing history skills. Do I? I really miss my laptop right now. I'm missing it too much. I need to get a new laptop. I need to get a new one. I'm not waiting till you come back to the flipping studio to get. I'll just pick one up. I'll just pick one up. All right. But that's for his WBC title. He never lost it. All right, so they stripped him. When they strip him after he beat Len Hutchins, yeah? Because it doesn't say vacant title when he fights Parlov. Parlov didn't have the belt before that either. A lot of times, right? You see these magazines, these articles and things. They get a lot of the information wrong. They get a whole load of the information wrong. They do get a lot of it wrong. But he was stripped. He was stripped, though. He was stripped. He was stripped. They conspired against him. They conspired against him to take his title. He didn't lose it in the ring. He had a legal battle with the British boxing establishment and promoters over financial and contractual arrangements. And he was stripped of his title for refusing to defend it against Miguel Angel Coelho. Right. Right. And Coelho, he lost the fight, the title, the vacant title shot to Mate Parlov. And then Conte traveled to Belgrade to fight Parlov. And I've seen that fight. It was a little controversial. But that's why they didn't license. That's why they didn't license him. I don't. That man's still alive today, and he speaks perfectly fine and everything. Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard him speak for a little while, but that sounds like something the system, because if he got in a beef with Mickey, Duff, Astaire, and the boy, you're done. You're done. You're done. And there's nothing you can do. The board was in the cartel's pocket. They was in their pocket. Wow. Yeah, Troy and Simpson fight should have stopped. There's no way it should have went to 4 knockdowns. It should never have went to 4 knockdowns. I tell you what, yeah, Callum Simpson has got one of the worst defenses in boxing. I couldn't believe how bad he was. I thought he was going to beat up Troy. I couldn't believe how bad he was. I don't know what's going on with all this. Why all of a sudden are Queensbury and Matchroom investing in West African cards and Amir Khan? Yeah, it wasn't impressive. Let's just say that card. People, the old boy is gonna turn it in. I need to sleep, man. This flu is just doing my head in. Peace.